Hello, thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've reviewed a lot of these. Too many, probably. But trust me, this one stands out. It caught me off guard, in a good way. Before we get started, there's a special discount if you're interested. The link is in the description and also in the top comment. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer admits to hesitating for months before finally committing to this mesh system. After trying countless cheaper solutions, from repositioning old routers to failed attempts at pairing different models, the frustration of dropped connections finally made the decision for them. Our reviewer emphasizes that while the initial investment felt steep, the resulting peace of mind was well worth it. The initial setup using the mobile app was described as perhaps the smoothest networking experience they've had in 2 decades. The units paired within minutes, creating a powerful and stable signal throughout the home. However, the client's key piece of advice is that this system truly shines when you put in a little extra effort beyond the automatic configuration. For those in congested areas, taking the time to fine-tune the settings is what separates a good experience from a great one. Our reviewer highly recommends using the web interface for more advanced tasks. They found that manually assigning fixed IP addresses to regularly used devices, like smart home gadgets and streaming sticks, created a much more reliable network. Another crucial tip was to give the 4 GHz and 5 GHz bands separate network names. This prevents confusion for many smart devices that can only operate on the 4 GHz band, avoiding a major source of potential connection headaches down the line. The hardware itself also received praise, particularly for the generous number of Ethernet ports on the satellite unit, a rare feature that's perfect for wiring up a remote media center or home office. The result is a robust, trouble-free connection that has finally solved their long-standing Wi-Fi woes.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer found the switch to this mesh Wi-Fi system to be a night and day difference compared to their previous, more complex setup. While they've only had it for a short time, the initial performance has been excellent, leaving them a bit baffled by some of the more negative reviews they had seen online. The setup process was described as stupid simple, with the entire 2-node network up and running in about 15 minutes. Our reviewer, who admits to being technically inclined, felt that the process was straightforward enough for anyone to handle. Using the mobile app, they connected the main router to their modem, and the secondary mesh node was recognized almost immediately as soon as it was plugged in via an Ethernet backhaul connection. Performance has been a huge highlight. Both speed and coverage are incredible, with tests showing speeds that are nearly the maximum their internet plan allows. The Wi-Fi signal is now strong and reliable on all their devices throughout the house and even outside. This client specifically mentioned that the wired backhaul feature worked flawlessly for them, even with a network switch placed between the 2 units, a scenario they had seen others complain about. While the experience was overwhelmingly positive, there were a few minor quirks. It took a little time to get used to the user interface on both the app and the web. The system also defaults to a single network name for both Wi-Fi bands, which they immediately separated. There were also some sporadic, but not concerning, speed drops on the 4 GHz band. Overall, however, this user is extremely satisfied, finding this mesh system to be a massive upgrade in both stability and simplicity.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to share their experience with this mesh Wi-Fi system. It's a well-priced Wi-Fi 6 system with tri-band Wi-Fi, which is great for fast data transfer. You'll see a lot of positive reviews online from big tech sites, and our reviewer thinks that's because those sites tend to focus on initial impressions. Living with the system day-to-day for weeks reveals more about how it actually functions. The biggest issue this client experienced was with 4 GHz devices like smart plugs and security cameras. They had intermittent connection drops and had to tweak settings to get things working. Specifically, our reviewer had to disable Wi-Fi 6 mode on the 4 GHz band and set a fixed channel, rather than using auto selection, to prevent devices from constantly disconnecting. They even had to pull out old Wi-Fi extenders to create a separate network just for their doorbell and security cameras to get a stable connection. It was frustrating to need these additional devices when the goal was to simplify everything with a new mesh system. Another issue this user encountered was that the node satellite would partially disconnect every week or two, causing speeds to drop. The solution was to configure automatic scheduled reboots weekly, which thankfully the software allows. On the positive side, the range is excellent, providing a strong signal throughout this reviewer's multi-floor home. They are getting full speeds on the 5 GHz network everywhere. Plus, the units themselves look nice and blend in with the decor. Also, the mobile app is very good, offering a great overview of the network and allowing for a lot of configuration. The web interface is a huge plus too, as some companies only allow app-based configuration, which this reviewer dislikes. Overall, this client is happy with this Wi-Fi system now that they've worked through the issues. They just wish the 4 GHz network was more reliable and that the system didn't require weekly reboots. They upgraded from an O.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.